If you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of it and support the channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications.
There once was a young husband and wife who were as madly in love as they were poor. They wished to start a family but could not afford a house big enough to let one grow. Despite this, after years of saving every penny and cutting every unneeded expense, the couple finally had enough for a home. Unfortunately, this home was one they were going to have to build themselves. They found a cheap piece of land in the country, a lumber company, and were finally ready to let their dream come true. After all was said and done, the young couple had themselves a small, yet cozy cabin with just enough room for a nursery. Along with this, the couple had welcomed the lifestyle of the country, with the husband taking up hunting and the wife becoming the house caretaker while also carrying their first child. But as the months went on, the wife began to suspect that their house was not fit for a child. While this seemed a simple thought, the wife could not provide any reason for her to feel this way. The only way she could put this feeling into words was that the walls felt uneven, and the floors felt sunken. The wife would also complain the windows seemed fogged over no matter how hard she polished, and the dust never seemed to stay away even if she cleaned every day. With the birth of their first child approaching, the husband decided that he had enough of his wife's irrational fear and contacted the lumber company they had bought from. The husband explained through a series of phone calls that his wife believed that the supplies they were sold were damaged and that they would like for their home to be inspected. Almost immediately the company obliged the couple and sent a representative to examine the house. Upon taking a look around, the representative could not find any signs of misconstruction or structural damage but did note that there was a strange feeling to the house. Similar to the husband's wife, the representative could not truly explain their feeling, with only being able to put it as the air felt thick, the shadows ever present, and as if every movement gave noise from the house. This response infuriated the husband, who demanded that he be given some solution to his wife's fear. The representative out of pity explained to the husband that there was a local doctor who treats strange cases like this and gave him a phone number to call. The husband quickly called the doctor and explained that his worrying situation. The doctor showed great fascination with the couple's dilemma and came as quickly as he could. Upon arriving, the doctor began to examine the house but, in a way, far different than the representative. The doctor listened to the wind come through the windows, the creaks of the floorboards, and the squeaks of the cupboard doors. After minutes of testing, the doctor declared to the couple that their house was sick. This confused the couple, with their worries only deepening. The doctor saw this concern and quickly explained that a new house is much like a baby, one must clean, care for, and nurse it. While the first two principles made sense, the last struck a nerve with the couple. The husband emotionally asked, "How and why in the world do you feed a house?" The doctor stated again that a house is much like a baby and that one feeds a house by filling it with food. Because it was obvious that the couple had no idea how to properly take care of a new home, the doctor prescribed them a regime to follow for the coming months. The husband was instructed to hunt twice the amount of food he typically did, and the wife was told to cook meals twice as big as she typically did, with whatever they did not use to be given to the house. The doctor, along with these rules, said that he will be checking in once a month to see how the house is growing. Surprisingly, the couple listened to the doctor's peculiar advice and did so for the next month. They kept his promise as well and arrived a month later in order to see how the house was coming along. Upon seeing the house, the doctor noted that there was a new color to its walls, a brighter light through its windows, and that it almost seemed to have gotten bigger. Pleased with this development, the doctor knocked on the front door only to be greeted by the couple, only with sunken eyes and pale skin. The doctor showed great concern and asked them how they felt. The husband explained that him and his wife had become exhausted over the last month due to long days of housework and restless nights. The doctor further asked why the couple was unable to sleep, to which the husband replied that the house bumps and cracks in the night, comparing it to the cries of growing pain. The husband also asked how much longer the house will grow, as his wife was expected to give birth soon. The doctor reassured the couple that at the rate the house is going, they should expect the house to stop growing within the next weeks, and that he would check in again to make sure everything went as expected. This checkup would not go as expected, as instead of the doctor going to the couple, they would come to him. Only a week after their last visit, the couple appeared before the doctor's door pleading for him to help the wife. It appeared that physical stress of the last month had triggered an early labor. So as quickly as he could, the doctor performed an emergency delivery and announced that despite the dangers of the procedure, the baby was in good health. This news imbued the couple's dream of a family with hope once again. The doctor warned that the wife should stay in his care until she gains back her strength, but the couple insisted that they welcome their new child home as soon as possible and went about their way. Despite the previous untimely visit, the doctor decided to maintain his promise of seeing the house once again, even if he expected nothing to change. But upon seeing the house, the doctor was in utter shock at the building that stood before him. Where there was once a small, barely two-room cabin, stood a massive, beautiful two-story house. Hesitantly, the doctor knocked at the door and was greeted by the husband, but something was extremely wrong. The once tired yet driven man that existed a few weeks ago had been replaced by a husk of his former self. The husband did not speak a word to the doctor, but rather looked him in the eyes with a stare that could only be taken as that of a corpse. The husband proceeded to silently lead the doctor into the house and into what appeared to be a makeshift nursery, then without a warning dropped to his knees and wept a strong, powerful cry. He then through broken words said, "We filled the house with food." The doctor walked over to the crib to only find that there was no sign of a baby. At that moment, the doctor realized that along with the baby there was no sign of the healing wife. He quickly ran through the halls and rooms of the house only to discover that the husband was the only other sign of life. But that thought was cut short by a feeling that he was being watched, but not by that of a peer but rather by a predator. The walls seemed as if they were going to crush him into dust, and the floor felt as if it was going to eat him alive. Without hesitation, the doctor ran out of the house and as far away as his legs could take him. He would never return to that house, and he would never hear of the husband ever again. It is said that the house was left to crumble in the country, or perhaps it still waits for another family to call it home,